What's up, comic book fans, and welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me, and today we got part two of the Joker, year one. And if you guys need to get caught up with part one, I put a card up at the top of your screen, and there'll be a link to the playlist at the end of this video. But as a short refresher, part one picked up in the past, shortly after the Joker fell into the infamous vat of chemicals, and we see his mind starting to snap as he tries to learn to cope with his new reality. Then, as he seemingly killed off the scared version of himself in favor of his new chaotic persona, he was approached by a man claiming to have trained Batman, and this man offers to help the Joker become the greatest force this world has ever known. Meanwhile, in the future, Batman is trying to figure out the meaning of the clues left for him by the Joker as the latest Joker toxin plagues the rest of the world. So if you guys are ready to see what happens next for these iconic comic book characters, then you guys know what time it is. Let's get it. So we picked this issue up during Joker's year one, and Batman is taking a body from the Gotham University Science Department. After telling Jim Gordon that the chemicals found at the scene of his run-in with the Red Hood gang's leader at Ace Chemicals was not corrosive enough to eliminate remains, he realizes that he hadn't tested the chemicals on actual skin. And when he does it, he determines that at 2 minutes, all pigmentation is neutralized from a Caucasian sample, meaning the skin turns to bleached white. Then, after finding out from Alfred about the bar fight with the Joker from part one of this story, Batman travels to visit that bar to get some answers about where this bleached white skinned man is gone to. And after roughing up a few of the patrons of this bar, we see him question the same guy that we saw in part one, who had called the Red Hood gang to tell them that their leader was still alive. To which this guy lets Batman know that the guy he's looking for left with a regular named Brian Bigling, a former Red Hood gang member. Then we pick up with the Joker, who's walking and he's thinking about this confrontation with this mysterious man who claims to have trained Batman as he heads to the home of Brian, aka number 22. But once he arrives, he notices that Brian has been tied up and they're not alone. Then the Red Hood gang show themselves and they go to attack the Joker. But the Joker fights them off and even finds pleasure when one of the gang members stabs him in his shoulder. But amongst all the commotion, Batman arrives, putting a stop to all of the fun Joker is having. And when Joker lays his eyes on the Bat, he hightails it up out of there. Meanwhile, Batman kind of gets overwhelmed by the Red Hood gang, and he's thrown out of the window onto the fire escape. And when one of these guys starts to choke Batman, the guy is then shot by Brian, saving old Bats. Then we transition to future Batman, who's followed the clues all the way back to Ace Chemicals, where it all started for him and the Joker. And there he finds more clues as we then see the Joker emerge from the river. Then he lets Batman in on a little secret, that his blood pressure is tied to a remote device, a sonic device. If his blood pressure drops from blood loss, or it rises from a fight, then it will sound an alarm and all the infected people will kill themselves. Then when Batman accuses the Joker of being predictable when he fires the gun he finds there, claiming that he could see the flag down the barrel of the gun, the Joker notifies him that this time he's got no idea what's ahead of him, as he says to Batman, "I want to watch you, Bruce. I want to watch the gears turn as you piece it together. I want to watch you scramble with your failing mind until it's too late. Until they're all dead." Then we go back to year one, and Jim Gordon is interviewing another crooked cop named Blair, who's been arrested. Blair's accused of running with the Red Hood gang, but Gordon isn't able to get any answers from him as he just calls for his lawyer. So as Gordon decides to leave out, he asks Manny, the crooked cop he squabbled with back in part one, to give this Blair his phone call and then put him in a cell, which Manny agrees to do. Then once Gordon leaves, Blair asks Manny to get him up out of this situation, to which Manny tells him that he can't, but he'll get O'Toole to take him to his cell, knowing that O'Toole is too old and slow to put up much of a fight if Blair decides to escape. So as we then see Gordon talking with Harvey Bullock, we see that Blair does just what Manny was expecting, and he overtakes O'Toole and gets his gun, threatening to walk out of there. But Blair doesn't get far as Manny pops him right on the spot in the head. But Manny is then clocked by Gordon, who accuses Manny of setting Blair up so he could kill him. But then the captain rushes in and he clocks Gordon. Then he accuses him of going after his own, and then he suspends Gordon. Then we transition over to Dr. Daniel Captio, the guy who offered his services to the Joker as he's sitting down for some tea when the Joker sneaks up on him with a knife to the throat. But the doctor doesn't seem too surprised, as he's predicted that the Joker would approach him like this. So the Joker asks this doctor to give him what he needs, and Captio tells him that they can start immediately. Then Joker asks him why it is that he's willing to make him whole, to which the guy responds that he's a scientist of human behavior, that Batman wrongly thinks he can be a force for order, but he's interested in what happens when Batman meets an equal force for chaos. So Dr. Captio begins to put the Joker through similar training, which he gave to Bruce Wayne back in Chip Zdarsky's Batman the Knight miniseries. But he quickly realizes that the Joker progresses much faster because he likes the pain. Then Daniel reveals his alternate persona, Karim Zed, kind of similar to Batman of Zur-En-Arrh. This personality takes over when Daniel needs to be more angry, and Karim Zed lets Joker know that this is what they can teach him to be truly great. Personalities nestled within, to be used and focused when you need them. Then we see that the Joker takes on this challenge with ease and creates 3 personalities. As Daniel tells us through an inner monologue about the Joker, he exceeds Bruce immediately, seeing the potential of the backups. The first is the clown, laughter and devilishness bursting forth, an imp with a demon side. The second is simply that demon. And the third, cold death, is calm like a black ocean at night. Then we transition back to the future Batman and Joker, as Batman wears some special earphones that he designed to filter out the decibel range of this auditory virus spread through laughter, and he travels to the GCPD while faking like he's been Jokerfied, all while the Joker is getting an absolute kick out of seeing Bruce play the fool. But Bruce feels like the last set of clues have led him here, and there must be an answer. But when he goes in and searches for the answers, his earphones make it difficult for him to hear, when he then gets caught off guard by none other than Catwoman. You see, Selina has also figured out that this virus is audible and has rigged up something to block off her hearing. But Bruce knows that she knows sign language, and he quickly signs to her that it's him and he's not infected. Then she reveals to Bruce that she's there because she couldn't find him, but she needed a place to keep the Bat family safe, as we see all of them infected and placed in a cell. But Batman neglects to let Selina know that the Joker is there with him, and he sneaks up right behind her, and he removes the cover from her ear and then laughs just loud enough for her to get infected. Then Batman reacts, but it's too late. The virus has gotten her, and now she attacks Bruce, which the Joker gets another kick out of. And then he releases the cell so Bruce would have to fight all of the people that he cares about. Then we go back to the Joker and his training with Dr. Daniel Captio. And after over 24 hours of silence, the Joker finally speaks. "You know what's funny?" "I don't know. Why don't you tell me?" replies Daniel. "That I was ever scared of anything." "You were only afraid of him. You associated him with trauma," Daniel then rebuts. Blah, blah. Of course, Doctor. But you helped create him. And now you helped create me. I guess Batman is like a brother to me now. And how can I be afraid of my big brother? So, I suppose that makes you our father. Which is funny, because I really hated my father. And with the absolute quickness, the Joker leaps across the table and stabs Daniel before Daniel could even react. And as he now lay there dying, Daniel can't help but wonder if he had been tricked by him. Was this madman greater than I anticipated, feigning fear in order to take knowledge from me? Did he see me coming and put on a show? All I could do now, in my final moments, is take solace in his chaotic perfection and the knowledge that, ultimately, my goal has been achieved. He's coming for you, Bruce. And he's perfect. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the issue. So what are you guys thinking about this story so far? Are you feeling like you're getting a new take on the origin of the clown Prince of Crime? Did you feel the need to see the Joker get trained? Or did you feel like it took away from some of the mystique of the character? I do kind of like how this seems to explain how deep his connection to Batman is. I also like the time jumps in this story, as well as the artwork in those scenes, especially the one where his head rises out of the water. I thought that imagery was absolutely beautiful. But you guys let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video and this channel, then you could be a tremendous help to this channel's future by donating with a super thanks. And if you're not able to do that, then you can also help by dropping a like, share, and subscribing to Comics Icons for more icons in the comic book world. I also want to invite you guys to join the new channel membership called the Iconic Fan Club and gain access to weekly live streams, loyalty badges, member shoutouts, and more. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. I'm out. Peace.